scoring last season.
They didn't get a point, you know, then. Did you know?
Say again?
They didn't get a point, did they, Palace? No. Oh, sorry, we've got 2. Only lost 1. I think it's a great run.
Does that show that, you know, you can get off to a ropey start, but things can change quite quickly?
Well, I just think the lads have given everything they can, really. I've been quite pleased with the performances. I think, including Bournemouth, I think every game we could have got something. You know, Morrison's goes in on the hour. Last 30 minutes would have been different at Bournemouth. And the other 2, I think we should have won both games. I know we could have lost the Newcastle game, but I thought we had more opportunities to win that game. So I've been pleased with that. It's just, you know, as you go higher, you got to take your chances, really, and we haven't taken them.
Has it been difficult, do you think, for the players to adjust to the Premier League in terms of what is required to create opportunities and to finish them?
No, I don't think so. I think it's down to me a little bit more than them, really. I've got to come up with, I know what my lads can do. I've got to come up with a solution, you know, what we could get away with in the Championship, you know, you can't get away with in the Premiership. So you've got to change all the time as a manager. You know, we're slightly different to the other 2 promoted clubs in the fact that we haven't got the money, you know, we haven't got the money that they've had to bring players in left, right and centre. You know, I'd have loved to have brought another striker in, but I'm not bemoaning it. I'm just getting on with it and enjoying it, really. And I want to try and play the game against the big clubs and enjoy it if I can. I know it sounds silly, that, and you know, and my tactics have got to be like that. You know, whether we win or lose, I mean, everybody expects us to lose the next 3 games, but you know, I want to try and enjoy it if I can, if that's possible, and that's by giving us a chance to score goals and things like that.
When you say it's up to you, Neil, has the Premier League changed since you were last here?
I think it changes every year. You know, you look at the managers that have come in and the clubs that have changed, and you know, I mean, I've been pitting my wits against Wenger for so many years. It's untrue, really. And, you know, my favourite story, I don't know whether John had told you that when I went with Sheffield United, my 1000th game at the Emirates, and we're in the centre circle. I'm looking up to Arsene, and I said, "Look at the dugouts, Arsene. They're miles away. You'll not hear me today." And he looked like that, right nonchalant, at both dugouts, and he said, "Neil, you will find a way." So I've had some good times with Arsene, and I was sad, you know. The grass is not always greener, but I think that I like the new chap. I like Emery. I think he's got great vision, and you know, that he's got some good players, hasn't he? You know, you look at the top 6 club, you look on in envy, really, when you look at the players they have. But it's great to pit your wits against them. You know, I remember Jagielka scoring a great, you know, saving a couple of great saves when we beat him at Bramall Lane. You know, it's Arsenal's very special to me, really. You know, my first game I remember with my dad was going to Highbury, the big clock there, and I think they used to put £5 a week away or something for a weekend away in Steelworks in Sheffield, and I was only a little boy, and he sneaked me into his hotel room and sneaked me in the ground, and I can never forget that. And same at Bramall Lane, the first game I remember was Arsenal. So I've got, you know, special memories about it. I think it's a lovely club, you know.
What have you made of their 3 games so far?
Well, I think we can cope with the Premier League. We've just got to find a way of scoring more, taking more opportunities. And you know, I was disappointed, like I say, that we couldn't get another edition. But you know, we tried everything within our means, and it wasn't possible. You know.
Arsenal's 3 games so far.
Oh, to be honest, I don't really. I thought they had a great patch against Chelsea at that one particular game. I thought they created loads of, quite a lot of chances. They'll have been quite pleased about it. So I think, whenever a new manager comes in, it's bound to be asking people to do different things, and it's just getting to know. And I'm sure that they'll be up there at the end of the season. They won't win it, but they'll be in that, fighting for that Champions League place.
Do you expect Mesut Ozil to play Sunday?
I haven't got a clue. I'm not too bothered, if I'm honest. I've got enough worries. Come and play for me if you want.
Been a lot of talk about him, obviously, this week, and the fact that he didn't play against West Ham. Do you see any similarity there with the type of player he is, the type of character he is, and when you had Adel Taarabt at the QPR?
No,
of getting the best out of someone who can be a little wayward?
Yeah, I think every manager you know, players play for certain managers and they don't, for whatever reason, don't seem to fit with others. But I think when you're a top player like Ozil is, and, you know, international like he's done and seen it all and done it all, it's only a matter of time before people like that click. I don't think you worry about that as a manager at that level. I think, you know, they're just good players, aren't they?
Do you see any difference in Arsenal at the moment under Emery to the team that you talked about under Wenger?
I haven't played against him yet, so, you know, television's a little bit deceiving at times. So I don't really judge too much when I watch the games on television. You know, I'll answer that question after the game on Sunday.
You've got 3 huge games now, 3 difficult matches. What's the target in terms of the return from these games? All
I ask my lads, you know, you said 3, you know, I'd say 33. There are, you know, you're looking at the top teams, and you know, if you let it worry you too much, you'd never sleep at night. But we've got to sort of look at the teams as a challenge to try and. We've got to try and create chances against the top teams, and we know we'll have a lot of possession, and it won't be all down to us parking the bus. You know, whether we like it or not, they'll have a lot of possession because of the quality that they've all got, these teams. But I think we've got to enjoy it. Like I said to you, you know, could have been a lot worse. You know, we could have been in the Championship, going all over the country, and I think I definitely am going to enjoy it. You know, this could be my last chance, and to enjoy going to these stadiums. Like I said, I'm disappointed the Spurs stadium wasn't up and running for our scheduled match. You know, but other than that, I am looking forward to the challenges.
Do you think, Neil, if you finish with 40 points at the end of the season, and a fair proportion of those are draws, low-scoring draws, possibly even 0-0 draws, would that be anything to be other than proud about? The fact that you
proud, I'd be ecstatic. we got 40 points, I'd be doing somersaults. So you know, but I have got a good.
Sniffy, can't they, about 0-0 draws?
Say it again.
Some people can be a bit sniffy about drawing.
Well, I don't think they are with us. I think, you know, I think it's people knew in the 2-0 draws that we tried to score goals. Really, just the quality of finishing wasn't there. Which, you know, 9 times out of 10 you have to pay for. So, you know, we haven't brought anybody in like that, and we've got to try and hang in there till January and look around for that man that we like, you know.
Anybody going out at all today?
That I don't know. There's 1 or 2 inquiries for players, but I'm not up to date this morning as such.
And just lastly, on the injury situation, Mendes Lang, you were talking about 3 months out. Is that still the...
Yeah, disappointing, because I think he had started really well this season. We've got 1 or 2 other little niggles as well, and Junior we're not sure about either. So it's a bit up in the air at the moment. You know, I'm sort of dreading going into the physio room this morning. But whatever happens, it'll happen, and we'll have to just pick the best available team to try and give them a game.
Right. Hoylett is quite doubtful, is he?
There's 2 or 3 quite doubtful, yeah.
Thanks.
Neil, you say you've got to. It's on you. You've got to come up with plans to get goals or whatever. How do you stop the players being sort of, because they can read it, they look on social media. How do you stop it affecting them before they even go onto the pitch?
I don't think it affects that. I don't think the group of players that I've got are affected by anything, if I'm honest. I think that, you know, like every group of players, they need help at times, and that's where the manager comes in. You know, we have to work harder than most teams to create chances. That's a matter of fact when you've got players, you know, we've come up through the Championship, and we haven't, like I say, we haven't, you know, bought all these top-class players that other teams have bought. But they're enjoying it. They are enjoying it. And what I've said to them is, you know, you've got to start at the back. You know, if you've got a chance of a clean sheet, you've got a chance of a result. And then we have to work on how we're going to create chances and take chances to give us a chance of getting 3 points, which we'll need, you know, to get to the points required. And that's what we've been talking about. And everybody's really positive in the dressing room. You know, they're a little bit like me in the fact that, I mean, you know, Sol Bamba in the Premier League, Neil Warnock in the Premier League. Well, let's enjoy it. And you know, Junior's the same. You know, when I talked to him about QPR, you know, is it with the under-18s when I turned up there, you know, and all of a sudden he's in a Premier League team. I think it's great for everybody. We've got players that can definitely play in the Premier League. You know, I look at the midfield three. Joe Ralls, I think, could play in most teams in the Premier League, and Harry Arter's super player for me. And Victor's done really well. To say it's his first year in English football. So, you know, I think we have got some quality there, and I think that it's just a matter of harnessing it and trying to come up with a formula.
Because, you know, Sean Morrison tucks away that header last season, doesn't he?
Don't talk about that, Rob, will you?
But you know what I mean? It's inches, isn't it?
Yeah, please don't mention that.
Okay. But you can't replicate that on a training field, can you? I mean,
No.
There's only one.
In fairness, he doesn't miss many of them.
No, he doesn't. No,
in fact, he scores a lot more difficult goals than that. It's just one of those things.
Do you feel if one just goes in, that will, I won't say open the floodgates, because as you say, you are going to find it harder than most teams?
Well, you know, it depends on which way you look at it. I don't know how many Burnley scored last year, but it was a very small amount, really, 28 or something like that, and they finished 7th. And they played some good football, you know. I watched them last night and I thought, well, you know, I thought they played some great stuff last night. So it all depends on your philosophy. We're never going to be scoring 2 or 3 a game, are we? We never have done. So we just have to get the best out of what we've got like we did last year. And all we can hope for is that we can compete. That's what we want to do, compete at this level.
This is the first game against what you call, you know, top 6 contenders. How much different is that to you? I mean, you enjoyed Newcastle, didn't you? The actual occasion. What do you feel it's going to be like on Sunday? I
enjoy the home games because of the atmosphere. I mean, you know, going back to when I turned up 18 months ago, whenever it was, you know, who would have thought we'd have been getting full houses, turning people away 3 or 4 days before kick-off? You know, they said I'd been going around cuckoo land, wouldn't they? So it's just a great atmosphere, and people have taken it on board. I think the kids, everybody, everywhere I go, you know, even in the supermarket the other night, I must have had 10 selfies with these kids, with their mothers. I think the kids were taking the mothers with me, by the way. It went the other way. But the place is just gripping, isn't it? You know, it's great. In a time where there's a lot of negative and depressing things around the world, I think it's great in Cardiff that we've got something to look forward to each week. And you could see the fans last week at Huddersfield kept us going and pushed us on, and you know, could have rewarded them. But you know, I was pleased that we went back down the motorway with another point under our belt, because they are tremendous fans at the minute, and I think they're aware of the difficulties that we've got, and it's almost like they're willing us that little bit more, and that's why we're going to need full houses at home. And it's great to be playing Arsenal. You know, one of the tradition. I think it's one of the best clubs in the country, mate, for that.
Famous Cardiff player left for Arsenal, Aaron Ramsey, returned and scored, but actually got applauded by the whole stadium.
Well, they will if he does on Saturday, on Sunday, won't they? I mean, I just think he's as good as anything in the country, mate, Aaron Ramsey. You know, I think he should be retiring now and coming back home.
Back here?
Yeah, back here, yeah. Every time I watch Wales, every time I watch Arsenal, he just does everything. He's a complete player, really. I think he's super.
Were you aware of him when he was coming through? Dave Jones just kept saying when he was the manager here, you know, we've got this kid coming through. I remember Harry Redknapp saying, well, we can't sign him, he's going top 4, and he went that summer to Arsenal. Was he the talk of football?
I think quality, when you look at quality, even now sometimes in this league, I'll see a player do something and I'm like flabbergasted, really, because I never see it, and wow. And he's like that. I think when the gift of the top players is they've always got time. I remember when I was young thinking Bobby Charlton didn't run around much. I used to think, well, he doesn't do much work, does he? Then I realised as I got older he didn't do that because he used his brains, and he was always on the move, and he was always a step ahead of anybody, and he didn't need to run around like everybody else. So it's all changed, you know, everything's the same principles it was 30, 40 years ago in that respect. He always finds time, and it's something that the top players will always get.
So has it surprised you there's some doubt over his Arsenal future and that he's in his last year of his contract? Not
really. I think it's a bit of both, isn't it? It's the club trying to get a good deal and the player agent trying to get a good deal. He'll stay there and he'll get a decent increase. It's just politics, isn't it?
But if he doesn't, there's always a place back home.
Yeah, I'd love him to be here. Yeah. He could be captain as well. You know, I don't think Mozza would mind. We'd get him an apartment. You name it.
Turn on midfield players. Aaron Gunnarsson, is he close or?
Yeah, he's not. He's training now this week. He's done some training. I don't think he'll be considered for Sunday because I think it's an awful lot. I think we'll save him for the easier games coming up. With Chelsea and Man City.
Will he go with Iceland in the international break?
No. He knows that. He's got to get this right. You know, he's aware of that situation. He told them a couple of weeks ago that he wouldn't be going, even if he'd have been fit. He wouldn't have gone.
And that's good, isn't it? Because you've had your problems before.
Yeah. He's the club comes first this year, I think, for him.
Okay, and finally, there's a big game in Newport tonight. Wales women taking on England. Winner takes all for a World Cup place next.
Yeah, don't get too disappointed.
Message understood.
Okay. Anybody else?
How have you taken the Premier League, do you reckon?
I think we've done all right, to be fair. All right start. 2 clean sheets in 3. I think we defended well. I think we can improve, definitely. We've got things to learn, but I think not a bad start. Not a great start, but not a bad start.
Yeah, the goals have been a problem, haven't they? Because defensively, as you say, 2 clean sheets. You're not going to complain about that. Where does someone like you come in? Because you've got to provide the service down the one side, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. We've been working on that as a team. I think you can't just rely on the strikers to get you the goals. The team's got to come into it as well, and that's what we've been working on this week. The team to create more chances for the strikers, and hopefully we can do that in the coming games.
I know people may have to ask questions about this, but does it become a hang-up in the dressing room about the lack of goals? Because you all read newspapers or social media or whatever, you see what people say. No,
not really. I don't think so. I think you focus on the positives, what we've got out the game, especially with the 2 clean sheets. We defended really well against Huddersfield, and I think the goals will come. I think whoever's playing up there, we've got to create more chances, as I say.
Do the strikers look sharp in training?
Yeah, all of them do, to be fair. They all won a game. Obviously we played one up front. So I mean, whoever's playing up there, Wardy, Ken, Kaz, whoever it may be, we've got to play to their strengths, and we've been working on that this week.
What have you found different in the Premier League to the Championship?
Just the overall quality, I think. The quality of teams keeping the ball, a lot of possession-based teams, and I mean we're used to that from last season. We didn't really have much of the ball last season, really, and I think we defended and then countered on that. So yeah, just the overall quality.
And the way things have gone, this is really the first game against what you call a top 6, top 8 side. Does that make it different for you?
A little bit. I think it'll be different to the previous 3 games that we've played. I think obviously I think they're a top 4 team, one of the best teams in the league, and but I think we're good at home normally. Last season we were good at home, albeit against poorer opposition, but I think we can upset a few teams this season at home, definitely.
Should be bouncing, shouldn't it?
Hope so, yeah. Hopefully, I think it's sold out, so hopefully the fans can get behind us and push us on, and hopefully we can pick up some more points.
Although you had a League Cup game in midweek, it is different, isn't it, going from Saturday to the Sunday with a game in midweek? I mean, I know it means more training maybe, but that's the difference between the Premier League and the Championship. You played enough times in the Championship to realise what that's all about. Yeah,
it's just nice for us for a week in between each game, and just to recover as well. It's good for the body just to recover, and obviously preparation's key as well, so we get longer to prepare, and the gaffer gets longer to work with the players throughout the week. And
can you only focus on the one game, or do you realise that the next 3 are pretty awesome if you look at it?
I think, yeah, in football I think you just got to focus on the one that's coming up. Obviously we know we've got tough games after that, and then we've got Burnley at home, which hopefully we can pick up some points there. And I mean, every game's going to be tough. It's not an easy game, as everyone says in the Premier League, so we've just got to stay focused and keep doing what we're doing, defending well, and hopefully pick up some more points soon.
Scored a belter at Reading last season. About time for another one.
Hopefully, yeah. I haven't got up that far up the pitch this season, to be fair. But no, it'd be nice to get a couple of goals this season. Hopefully, I can. Yeah.
All the best.
Thank you.
Joe, you mentioned about the 2 clean sheets last 2 games. Do you think the fact that the team hasn't scored, you perhaps haven't had enough credit for the fact that you kept 2 clean sheets?
I think so. I think criticism's been a little bit harsh, to be fair. I think the first 3 games, I mean, it's not a great start, 2 points in the first 3, but it's not bad. I don't think it's too bad. I think there's teams that have not picked up a point yet. And I think we've done okay. We can, as I say, we can improve, but I think that will come.
I mean, it wouldn't worry you if that became a regular way of picking up points, Neil, in the rules?
No, if we can get another 36, 35 of them, I think we'll be all right. But no, I think it'll come. Goals will come. I think there's new players in the team that have just come in, so I think obviously players need to get used to each other, and hopefully the goals will come for the first 3 games. As I say, it's not a great start, but I don't think it's too bad.
You played against Arsenal before at all?
Yeah, we played at Villa. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So that was away. So I think we got beat 3-4-1. So I know how good they are, and I know what they can do. So I think all the team needs to be on the game, really. Yeah.
Who gave you trouble that day?
Walcott. Yeah, a lot of trouble. Yeah.
What do you make of their 3 games so far?
Yeah, I think obviously they've got a new manager, so it's a new setup for them, if you like, and obviously the players will be looking to impress the new manager, and that'll be the same when they come here. I think they'll be confident of 3 points, but I think we can definitely upset a few teams this season at home, and hopefully it starts this weekend.
The last time you played a club maybe of this stature at home was probably Manchester City in the FA Cup last season. You took a lot of stick personally and as a team after that game.
Yeah.
Looking back now, did it hurt?
Yeah, personally it did. Obviously, I've gone through that last season that I didn't mean to catch him the way that I did, and yeah, looking back it was a bad tackle, but I think that's made me stronger as a player, and I've definitely improved as the season's gone on. I think obviously the likes of Greg coming in at left back, that's given me even more motivation to do well and push on. But I think personally I just want to try and stay in the team and do well for the manager, and hopefully I can do that. Yeah.
Is that one of the things perhaps the players have to learn about the Premier League, that those experiences, those mistakes, maybe a mistimed tackle, they're magnified in a way that it wouldn't have been if you'd have done that away at Rotherham in the Championship? Yeah,
I think obviously it was blown up a little bit in obviously national media when they get hold of something. It stays in the media for a few days, and it's something that I wasn't really proud of looking back. I didn't realise how bad it was at the time, but I mean, looking back, it didn't look great, especially the pictures as well. So no, I apologise for that, and I moved on quickly. Yeah.
And some of the stick the team had after that game about the way you played, do you expect more of that this season or not?
Probably. I think we've had it already in the first 3 games. So I think that we're not going to change. I don't think, obviously, you know how the gaffer plays, and you know how he wants us to play. So it worked last season, we got promoted, so I think we're going to stick to that, and obviously bringing in new players as well, that's going to add to the quality of the squad, and hopefully we can improve on the first 3 games. Yeah.
Best of luck, Joe.
Thank you.